Hi Aries, thanks for joining me for your July 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and for following me on Facebook and Instagram. Let's start with our transits while I'm shuffling the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. On July 4th of July, we have Venus entering Gemini. And you'll find that this can affect your communication style, Aries. Relationships with siblings and local travel, and your connection with your neighborhood, and maybe study and schooling, not higher education, but smaller courses and maybe even online courses, smaller short-term types of study. The writing is picking up here for Arian editors, writers, journalists, public speakers, teachers, professors. Venus is smoothing over the sector of your chart that governs your communications. And Venus is harmony and balance. So if Aries is in some type of riff or discord with someone, you might find that this is the time that you are able to get things lovingly out to the surface and communicate with whoever needs it. Maybe siblings, any arguments or disagreements that you're having with siblings could be attempted at the beginning stages of communication at this time. Also female sisters is highlighted here with Venus because that's the planet that governs women. So on the 5th, a day later, Mercury, again following Venus's tail in transit, Mercury enters Leo. So, in fact, Aries, July will work for you because the fire sign of Leo is ignited for most of the month. When the sun is in Leo, our new moon will be in Leo, and Mercury enters Leo, and we'll have Mars entering Leo this month. So all of the 5th house, please watch your ascendant because that is very accurate according to your natal chart where your house positionings are. So if you're lucky enough to know the time of your birth, you can check out your rising sign, or maybe you'd want to book a reading with me to go over your astrological chart and some transits coming up. Either way, check both signs, even your moon sign, to connect with some of your emotional areas of your chart, although you can get that by looking at the sun and the ascendant forecast as well. So, Mercury moving into the 5th house. I'm feeling like there could be news of pregnancy for Aries who are trying. And since all of this fire sign energy is activated, it does harmoniously funnel into the fire sign of Aries, this energy. It works for you. Romance, communicating with new love interests, dating is highlighted in July for Aries. Fun, leisure, vacation, relaxing, gambling, all things 5th house, even sports, and what you are passionate about, your creative endeavors, entrepreneurial energies. And I don't know why I want to say this, but I normally wouldn't call it this house, but I'm getting the house of gifts, Gifts. So some Aries are receiving gifts or the feeling of happiness and being awarded something. Mercury might bring in notification, news, information of something working your way, in your favor in the 5th house. We have our full moon on the 9th. At 17 degrees of Capricorn in the 10th house of career, bringing closure or an awareness with the career, with retirement, with status in career, title changes, and maybe closure in the relationship with your father. The 10th house of the paternal or the authority figure, male authority figures in your life. The 10th house is a masculine area. And full moons shine in the sector where things need to be seen and maybe intuitively seen, here, just becoming aware of them. In the 10th house, some of you are closing the door on more corporate, structured jobs and taking a risk in the 5th house of your own business, your own endeavors, being creative, and doing what it is you are truly passionate about, Aries. And I like this, having a full moon in the 10th, bringing an end to something very tidily, very, what's the right word? What do we just say? In a divine timing kind of way, divinely. One door closes and another door opens. And I'm getting the impression that Aries already has an awareness right now of what you want to do outside of this corporate job or the job where you report to someone else. Mars on the 20th enters the 5th house, conjunct Mercury then to create the stamina and energy that you need in physicality, in sports, romance, sex, because of the house of procreation. A lot of I'm getting, since Mars is the planet of physical energy and physical activity in the 5th house of creating procreation and fertility, there could be a lot of sex, a lot of baby boys being created at this time, or even delivered, because when Mars enters the 5th, a lot of births will be happening. Actually, look to the 22nd for those Arians who are around that 8 or 9 month mark. The 22nd, Mars will be conjunct the Sun. These are very fiery energies in the sign of Leo. And when the Sun enters Leo, this is a very masculine conjunction. So Mars and the Sun being masculine energies. In the 5th house, I think a lot of baby boys are coming into the mix through July 20 and July 23. And throughout that solar energy of Leo, when the Sun is in Leo. So our attention is towards what relaxes us, what pleases us. That's a word that's definitely being given to me about being, what gives you pleasure? Where do you turn for leisure, Aries? This is the time to really be in love with what it is you are doing. And I really love this house for you being lit up in July. Our new moon is also there on the 23rd, which again, births. And well, obviously the men aren't delivering the babies, but you're involved. So, and this is also new moon, fresh start, pregnancy. So it could be the other way too, birthing and becoming pregnant. It could also be the perfect day to initiate your business, your entrepreneurial business is around the 23rd of July. The new moon at 0 degrees. Okay, so I'm being reminded. This is a strong initiating energy in the 5th house for you. It's a strong initiating energy for everyone at 0 degrees new moon of Leo on the 23rd, but everyone's going to have it in a different sector. This is a fresh start in your creative endeavors. This is a brand new romance. I would get out and about in July between the 20th through the 25th. Spectacular week for meeting someone new. And this could be very romantic. This is the 5th house of romance, baby. It's on. It's on for Aries. And all of this trining you, filtering in new, fresh prospects in the 5th house. It's great. Mercury switches signs on the 25th, entering Virgo. So now your physical health is, or physical self is taken care of with the 1st and 5th house already. But now it's moving into the 6th house of health and proving it. How's your workout routines? What are your checkups like? This is a very detailed analytical planet, Mercury, in a house that he governs 2nd. Mercury rules over Virgo after Gemini and really works well in the 6th house. He likes it in Virgo because he can be overly OCD and detailed and checking off his checklist and fine-tuning any medical and health-related open-ended situations, appointments. I want to say x-rays. So and bones. Okay, so some of you have been dealing with knees, shins, ankles. I'm getting like hips to ankles, x-rays and bone work, chiropractic work with Mercury in the 6th for you, Aries, would be beneficial. Glucosamine and chondroitin and MSM pills to lubricate the joints, and fish oil pills. I don't know why I'm getting this now. I mean, this is just random information coming through, but it would help Aries who at all suffered with arthritis or maybe even rheumatoid arthritis. To check your Eastern medicinal supply is helpful, as well as doing whatever you feel is necessary on the Western. I'm not a doctor, but I do hear, I am clairaudient and clairvoyant, so I'm just relaying the messages. Now on the final day of July, on the 31st, Venus again transits into Cancer. And this is the 4th house of home, wanting to connect with Mother at the end of July, wanting to smooth over the harmony in your foundation, in your environment, and where you come from. Let's see what the Tarot has to say for Aries. And I'm excited to use this deck. It's the first time I've used it in a reading and only the second time that I've ever used it. So I just purchased this, The Lost Tarot of Nostradamus by John Matthews and Will Kingen. And obviously Nostradamus, because he was such a prophetic and wise visionary and writer and psychic and clairvoyant, that he made this and wrote this before he even realized it himself. But a lot of his words are used in the definitions of the tarot in the quatrains that he wrote. So I'm into it, and I'm a big believer and all things supportive of Nostradamus and his abilities. Okay, Aries. Here are your cards for July. And if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week. And if you're interested in signing up for my tarot course, I wrote it myself. It's a very interactive course with comment sections. You can get the information below if you're interested in that. Aries, first card. What? Oh my God, I have the chills and I'm getting emotional already. It's the card of the Emperor. Can you read that at the bottom? That's the card of Aries. So what's up, Nostradamus? I'm into it already. Oof, chills. Okay, so wow, real big chills. Aries, the Emperor. This is you, leadership, the ability to be your own boss, be your own entrepreneur, Aries. If that's where you want to be, if that's what you're passionate about in the 5th house. Ooh, the world, the completed world, he wrote. See that at the bottom? That's one of his phrases. And there's a fleur-de-lis on this cup. Go Saints! Okay, so this is the last card in the Major Arcana, number 21, the world, full circle, completion. It's a beautiful card of fulfillment. That's why he put the chalice and the cup in the center of it, similar to the Ace of Cups visual. But this is about obtaining what would make you fulfilled as your own boss, or taking leadership in romance. The 5 of Sun. This is interesting how he does it. This is wands. The 5 suns would be rods or wands, fire. So the 5 could depict some competition and maybe even a little aggressive energy. There's a lot of fiery, heated energy in the month of July because Leo is impacted and you're fire. So I want to see what else comes up here. But I'm noticing that this guy in the depictions, and I love using new decks just because it gives, new pictures can inspire a reader to receive new information. It's a trigger. Now he's kind of wrangling that man, goat, reindeer or something, but he's a pope. He's taking his hat off. He's got the cross on him. There's something that tells me your skill set for anything in the 5th house, these endeavors, is a lot more advanced than you think it is. So don't let the competition sway you or dissuade you or persuade you to not get involved. You can do it. And now 4 of Sun, 4 of Wands, security, home environment, 4th house at the end when Venus goes into the 4th house. Security, your dwelling, a celebration, not celebration in the 3 of Cups kind of way, but maybe a wedding, or maybe a ceremony is the word I want to say, a matrimony or a ceremony that brings a sense of security. And some of you, I'm getting the image that you might be baptized again. Oh, I get it. You know, with this priest in this, or Pope energy here in this card, and then looking at this person putting water on the feet of this individual, there's a cleansing happening here, a purification for Aries. And some of you, when I think of that, you could be getting, you know, either renewing your vows, thank you, renewing your vows, being baptized, being cleansed and renewed, rejuvenation and a sense of clearing is coming up. I think this is a beautiful reading because this deck is you're the very first sign that I'm recording, because I do them in order. And this is the very first card that I've pulled using these in a reading that I'm recording. And it's your major arcana card, so I already feel like this deck is connecting with me. Wow, I don't know if you could hear that, but that was a long voicemail. That person left me the longest voicemail ever just then. So the Emperor, leadership, if you take your own authority, it'll lead you to the success and fulfillment of all of your goals. There will be no stone unturned. Don't let the competition get under your skin. You're doing this to establish your own sense of security and your own independence. So go for it. Remove any doubts and make your move. Honestly, in July, this is a number 1 year still. And this is the first time this house is impacted to the level it is for Aries. So take your entrepreneurial risk now, if that's where you're at, or take your risk with your children, your creative endeavors, your performance, 5th house of performing arts. This all applies. Take your risk, because the 5th house has to do with risks. It's a gambling sector. So place your bets. Thanks, Aries. I'm wishing you a sweet month. And remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.